Joining us now with reaction, Pennsylvania Congressman Republican Guy Reschenthaler of Pennsylvania. Good to see you, Congressman. Thanks for coming on. I'll get your reaction to that news in just a bit. But before that, I want to get your thoughts to these new unemployment numbers. 2.4 million this week, bringing the total unemployment to 39 million. It goes up each week. It's more than just a number. These are American lives.
Yeah, Sean and Emma, thanks for having me on, and I appreciate it. You know, the numbers could be a lot better, and that's what I have a really hard time with. We have so many governors in blue states, Democrat governors, that have turned into petty tyrants, and we have unelected bureaucrats that are in the health departments making these decisions that have no rational basis, that are really aimed at hurting small businesses. The American people, those in Pennsylvania and my home state, they want to go back to work. They're ready to go back to work. And we can do it if we protect those in nursing homes and hospitals and those with compromised immune systems. Protect the most vulnerable, but allow the rest of the population to get back to work and bring this economy back to where it was, which was at record levels before we got hit with this virus.
Yeah, Congressman, I'm wondering why lawmakers aren't on top of this, because we learn more about this virus as we go. We can say, hey, look, maybe you made the right call right at the beginning, but now that we know, just kind of like what you said, protecting those with comorbidity, protecting those vulnerable there at the nursing homes, there's got to be a way, because there's some real harm being done to even the mental health of those Americans that are staying cooped up right now.
Well, at the beginning, we were all on the same page. We thought that we had to flatten the curve. And the reason for that was we had to make sure that our hospitals were not overwhelmed. We needed to make sure we had enough beds, ventilators, PPE. We didn't want to get caught like Italy and Spain got caught, where they went to rationing care. Well, after a few weeks, we figured out that we had flattened the curve and that we had enough hospital beds and the other PPE equipment and ventilators. So at that point, we should have then done what Florida did, and we should have protected the most vulnerable and let the rest of the population go back to business as normal. That would not have crushed our economy. This was always a false choice between saving lives and taking care of the economy. We could have done both. We had a nuanced approach. And when we look at this in hindsight, governors like Ron DeSantis are going to look like heroes. They were thoughtful, they were nuanced, they were balanced. And those that acted like petty tyrants and crushed the economy, like my governor, Governor Wolf in Pennsylvania, they're going to be the ones that look foolish. But unfortunately, the goalposts keep moving, and that's the real shame in all of this.
Congressman, talk to me about Pennsylvania, your home state. As we mentioned at the top of this, it's not just Republicans now calling for Governor Tom Wolf to fully reopen. We're seeing those on the other side of the aisle getting fed up. Is this becoming somewhat of a bipartisan effort now in your state of Pennsylvania?
Well, Sean, Emma, I used to be a state senator in Pennsylvania, and I know the state Senate and the state House actually passed some legislation that was geared at having a nuanced, thoughtful approach and trying to bring back some sanity to the governor's draconian measures. Now there's a few Democrats that are writing letters to the governor, but these are strongly worded letters. It's a little bit too late, too late. These Democrats should have voted with Republicans. We could have passed measures on a veto-proof majority to rein in this governor. So don't be fooled at their attempts to somehow moderate now and look reasonable. When they had the chance about a week or a week and a half ago, they could have voted with Republicans to make a real difference. Now this is a pathetic attempt to move to the center, because they know public opinion has turned on the governor here and has turned on the Democrats, and they're trying to position themselves as moderates for the fall. But don't be fooled by that.
Public opinion, powerful thing. Congressman, last question. What is your reaction to this audio leak of Biden's call and the approval of subpoenas against a company tied to his son, Hunter Biden? The calls are out there. Some would say it sounds like a quid pro quo.
It doesn't sound like a quid pro quo. It's the definition of a quid pro quo. And if the Democrats want to go back to impeachment, you know, they impeached a president for less. There was absolutely no quid pro quo when it came to President talking to Zelensky. The quid pro quo was when Joe Biden talked to the former president of Ukraine and said, if you get this prosecutor off of Burisma, we will then give you aid. That's the quid pro quo. And remember, that prosecutor was going after Burisma. Burisma was paying Hunter Biden $50,000 a month to sit on their board when Hunter Biden knew zero about natural gas, yet he was getting paid this money. So clearly there was influence being bought, there was a quid pro quo, and we were told that this was a nothing burger. We were told there was no there when we were talking about this during the impeachment hearings. Now it looks like the real quid pro quo, the real nefarious actions took place with the Bidens. So I'm interested to watch this story unfold. And it's great to get to the truth of what was really going on in Ukraine.
No, you can't ignore it. I mean, the tapes are there. I don't know how that will play out in front of a Judiciary Committee, but they are there. We got to go. That's Congressman Guy Reschenthaler. He's a Republican from Pennsylvania. Good to see you, Congressman. Thank you for your time.
Sean, Emma, thanks for having me on. Take care.